I decided to go maybe about there or so with the 1/2 inch from there down, and then I'll go 3/8 the rest of the way. Okay. Press it on there. I'm going up over the hinge there. Hopefully the door's still going to close. I'm going to cut that off right in there. A little bit at a time. Snip, snip, snip. You can do it with that or else it's going to roll like I showed you before. That already wants to cup off of there. And I'm gonna leave that paper on again right now in case I need to pull that back off and put the 3/8. It's kind of make a decision at the store, use the material that you have, figure out how you're gonna get it done, you know. This is just the 3/8. I'm going to continue that on down. See, because I have just a little bit, I can just unroll it, put it down. You know, or I can pull that whole thing down like that. You know, and just do a little bit. You don't want to try to do too much at one time because then it doesn't get up in there tight. So, you know, going around a little hinge right there. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. On down you go. Keep pushing this afterwards. And just continue it on down. I'm not going to have enough out of this little roll here. I've got the other stuff. See, off the cardboard, I lose that little bit. Man, they should have wrapped something around the cardboard. You don't really get the 10 feet like it says on the box. So I'm going to have to cut that up in here. Throw the rest away. Oh well. Got more. It feels really sticky, but you gotta just watch it and make sure you go back and press down on it even after a few minutes, because it wants to curl sometimes. That's why you need to put this right on metal. You're trying to put weather stripping on wood. Lots of times you've got problems with it not wanting to stick later on. You might have to get something to screw it in or do it a different way, or just check and make sure, you know, it's gonna stick. Okay. I can peel that back. I trim that so that the next piece is gonna fit on there. Just have to pull that up. Roll this a little bit. I'd fit that in there and go some more. Okay. It's like a walk in the park. You don't have to have somebody come out to your house and do this for you. You know, save that money. Or, you know, you're going to say, I'm not going to pay somebody to do that. I don't know how to do it myself. I'm just going to live with it. You don't have to do that anymore, do you? Just going to hold that down there, eyeball that, hold that, cut it, and hopefully it's going to fit. If anything, try to make it just a hair long. And if you get it just a hair short, you're going to have to piecemeal something in there. You get it long, then you can kind of peel it back and put another go in there. You know? Okay, I'm kind of anxious to see if that is going to close okay with that in there. You know, the 1/2 inch up at the top, like I did. So let's just do a little trial here. Let's close the door. I'm going to see how well it works up here. Man, it looks like the insulation, weather stripping got short there because it was curled. I thought I had it up in there, but it had a tendency to want to rise. I may have to put a little piece in there. Let's close this and see what happens. I think that's going to be nice. Okay. It's getting there. Okay, I'm going to put a 3/8 piece up there. Let's see how that works. Now, you know, with closing this and stuff, I'm looking over here, and the 3/8, it said it was 3/8. And I measured with my tape measure. I don't know if you can see that in there. See? There's a slight gap. It's not touching the back side of the screen door, the metal portion. I think, you know, I think I'm going to pull that 3/8 back off down there and put 1/2 inch. I've got like a 1/16 of an inch there. The 1/2 inch should work just fine. See up at the top how nice it is? That's going to keep any critters out of there for sure. But even a 1/16 or 1/8 inch gap, little tiny lizard or worms or, you know, whatever can still get in there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I did that for a reason. I can take that 3/8 off and I can put that up there, and I happen to have the rest of that 1/2 inch roll right there, so I'm good to go. Let's try this. The 1/2 inch there, got 3/8 up at the top. I got everything set. There it is. I even looked up at the top, and it's just perfect at the top. The 1/2 inch really worked well on the side. I was a little amazed at that it's not binding at all. What I found, this insulation could be just a hair less than 1/2 inch, just a hair less than 3/8 of an inch, because that gap up there, when I measured it before, was just over 3/8. Now when I looked up there, there's less than a 1/16 of a gap, and so that fit right on in. Okay. Now what I found, one thing I found over here, I let this set just for a while. This insulation, right? Insulation. I keep calling that insulation. Leaving the paper on there just for a little while, and I came back and it was already peeled back a little bit. You gotta watch this, like I said, you know. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close the door, and that's gonna keep pressure on there for a while, and then I'll check it again before I leave. I got some other things to do around here, because the last thing I want to do is walk away from this and have the insulation weather stripping pulled back. For the life of me, I'm going to keep calling it insulation, aren't I? Okay, that's going to work out nice. And I left this insulation off there. Like I said, I cut that off, took that little piece off, and I actually left this piece off too. I tried it with it, but it was hard to throw the deadbolt. And I'd have to pull on this really super hard, and the owner's not going to be able to do that. Now if you want, you could take your side hole here. And if you have a reamer bit on your drill, you could ream this back a little bit, but there's only about a 1/16. And that might be just enough for the deadbolt to slide in there. If I wanted to take a reamer bit and ream that out a little bit and make it a little bit easier to pull in there, you know, and I might do that. So you've got an option to adjust this ever so much, or pull on it, and if you're fine with that, that'll work too. Okay? Well, that's about it with this little project. Let's give this a fair shake and see what happens. See, there's not much of a gap. An ever so slight gap up there, but not enough for anything. That looks all fine down in there now. And I got that down in there. That'll keep out the little critters and the little snakes and worms and bugs and grasshoppers and everything else. Okay? That's it from this end. Oh yeah, don't forget to pull your little paper off when you get done. You know, just peel it off like that when you get done. There you go. That's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.